Hi guys, this is Maduba John from MJCdesigns. Welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'm going to show you guys how to model an interior scene. But before I proceed, if you're new here, kindly subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification button so you don't miss videos whenever I post. Now let's get started, guys. So I'm going to import the AutoCAD file right now. As seen on your screen. So the next thing we'll do is set up the height of your wall, thickness of your wall, and the surface. Then you start tracing the lines. We are going to work on mainly the living space, like the living room and the dining space. That's the double volume living room and dining space. That's what we are going to work on in this project. So this is tracing the walls from the Archicad AutoCAD plan. So we are going to copy the first floor. I'm going to cut it, but before you cut it, you make sure you suspend the group so that you can cut just only that plan, and then you paste it on the other floor. And then what did you use on suspend the group, and then you shift it to the rightful position so we can continue working. Then change the level of the ceiling level which you want, which we are going to use 3450 mm. So let's continue with the tracing of the wall. All we're trying to do is to give the second floor plan the floor shape. Trying to give the floor assign material to the floor. Let's see what we have throughout. Let's see what we have. Now this is what we've done so far, and let's change the floor slab material to something darker. So we are going to increase the wall because we are going to be using a double volume window. So that's why we are going to be using the single wall for the two floors. The essence of using the single wall so that you will be able to use a double volume window. Now the shape of our interior is coming out a bit. One thing about interiors is that you have to make sure that you understand what you're doing. It's totally different from exterior modeling because this demands a lot of details and paying attention to some little details and understanding how the building works. So it is very important to make sure that you don't see some of those little lines causing some wrong connections, because it's definitely going to affect during the process of rendering. So it's very important you watch them. So right now we are going to place our window. I usually use the basic window, so later I can change the settings. So you pay attention to what we are going to do here right now. We're using a fixed glass. So you can see. Now that's the double volume window we're trying to use. So we're going to add some mullions to it. We're trying to view it and see how we adjust the mullions, and then just play with the numbers right there. I think that's fine. I'm trying to change the colors of the mullion. and frame. So let's just copy and um, place the same window parameters on the other walls. And that's it. That's what we want. So I adjust some of those little errors you can see. So it's important you notice all these things so that your work can look nice. One thing about modeling gives you a better rendering when you render. So that's why you have to know how to model properly before trying to render. It's important you know how to model properly. Rendering is not the problem. The problem is modeling the right thing, like properly modeling the right thing so that you can relate to reality. So make sure you're using a proper scale, a proper measurement in everything you do. So we're placing the doors right now. Placing the doors on the walls. Trying to place the appropriate door on the plan. The difference between interior and exterior is that exterior is just something there are little things you can, although it's very important to make sure to model properly, but for interiors, those little things, like I said before, those little things that you don't really take cognizance of, they are very important in interiors. They are so important that you have to pay attention to it. Same at exteriors too. You have to pay attention to your little details. But I think interiors has a lot of details in terms of modeling. So just trying to set up the doors and make it look presentable. I think I'm satisfied with it though. So we are going to place the ceiling for the double volume as it is the first floor. Okay. Like I said, working on exterior only, sometimes you don't even pay attention to some of these things we are doing. That's why it takes lesser time to actually get an interior model and an exterior model done. But for an interior, these things are very important. Those little details. So we are going to try to look for elevator. There's an elevator in this design. I'm going to add an elevator. That's a lift. I won't bore you with the adjustment of the lift. But that's the size, that's the actual size we want for the lift. So let's go to do something else. So one thing about interiors is that you have to look at the places that would show during your process of rendering. So it's you have to make sure you pay attention to those places and model them accordingly. We're going to create their POP right now. That's the slab right there. Using slab to create it. So try to adjust the proper height and the proper spacing. So we'll try to create those holes in the POP. But before that, we'll try to cover the space between the POP and the slab. So I'm using wall. Sometimes the choice of tools I use depends on the efficiency, like how fast it makes and how precise it is. So I feel like wall is the better tool to use for this instead of using slab to start tracing and all that. So wall is a faster and better tool to use for this right now, as you can see. Now that's it right there. You won't even know there is space in between. If you notice, the wall has even disappeared, but there's a way to bring it out when we are ready to bring it out. So we want to try to create the space, the holes in the decorative holes in POP. You can use line to design it first before giving the holes, or you can use fill tool to design it, or you can also use slab to design it. So whatever works for you. But I'm using lines for now, and I might use fill later on. So this time around, I chose to use fill because lines looks like it's not going to give me a faster walk. So I'm using fill right now. So most of the choice of tools I use is, if you can use it to achieve anything, you have to look at the faster tools to help you. I prefer to use the one that is quite faster and also gives me what I want. So it's not compulsory that you use a particular tool for something that you can also use another thing to achieve. So you have to look at the faster and the more precise stuff. As you can see, I've opted for fill because it's faster than using lines to do this. So your choice of tools also depends on how fast you want to be. So it's something that you have to decide on your own. So I just created a hole. Hold down your space bar, and then, but before that, you hold down your space bar. If you've been watching my tutorials, you would have all this. You would have really gone far. You would have really gone. You would have really known how to do these things. So I'm just showing you how I created this interior space. So for those that might think I'm too fast, it's important you watch my other videos so that by now you would have known some of these things I'm doing. As you can see, the ceiling is looking fine. This is how to create your ceiling. Now we want to expose this wall. We want it to show on the plan. Now that's this right there. We want it to show because we want to use it for something else too. So trying to cover that part too. And I'm going to hide it back again. Very important. Alright, let's continue our work. So create a space for the curtain. These are things you have to pay attention to. We want our curtain to start from the inside. So when doing your interiors, you have to pay attention to a lot of things you're going to do afterwards during the process of rendering. We want to create the POP of the second volume. That's the first floor. As you can see how I use my slab properly, efficiently. Slab tool is a very important tool in modeling using Archicad. So all you need to learn is how to cut, add, and manipulate it. And you're going to be getting a proper model using it. So we are trying to create the ceiling of our second floor. That's the volume right there.